Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be going in and unboxing a bunch more coins that I really don't know too much about. These are actually probably technically not coins, they're called jetons, and they are from Germany, so I purchased a good bit of these. Now, most of the ones I bought were French, but there were also a bunch of German ones, so I'm going to open this bag up and we'll see what I got. I paid a fair amount per coin, and the flips were not obvious, and it feels like something fell out there at the bottom. Ooh, interesting. Well, we'll see if there's a flipless coin in here, but let's check out what a German jeton. These were basically accounting tokens. They were made from sort of the 12 or 1300s through to the 1700s for use in, counting things. But here it says Gott ist wahr, so I don't think it's God is war. I think war, I am Glück, I think is, or Glück kommt von Gott. So I think that's saying like a goodness comes from God, something like that. And let's see what this says. Well, I'm not going to waste too much time here, but I'm going to go coin by coin and open these ones up. So we've got one flip that I'm going to put to the side here, but we'll start with this one and we'll see, wow, if there's any identifying information. So this is a Nuremberg a jaton by Hans Krauwinkel, 1586 to 1635. So line of St. Mark type, and the type is going to be Imperial Orb with within has some treasure. So very interesting, and I think we're just going to see a bunch of really interesting pieces of history. They would be used on a counting board, and you could like move them around, but they would be produced by a variety of different issuing entities and would often have like a positive message on them. So this one looks like a pretty similar one. Yeah, thin planchet. Looks very familiar compared to the one that we just looked at. And the difference between these and the French ones, I think, I kind of like the French ones in the sense that they're often showing off a French king or something like that, and there's a little bit more authority behind them. But at the same time, I purchased a fair amount more of the French ones versus the German ones, and this one also looks like it'll be a Hans Krauwinkel, but this one is a little bit smaller, though the detail come through. Very, very nice. Gottes Segen macht reich. So, again, over or around 400 years old pieces of history being unboxed here from Nuremberg. I believe the story is that Nuremberg... Ooh, this one looks a little bit larger. Let's see, this says Val 15, Hans Schultz, Jeton line of St. Mark. So again, this one's similar, but this one has that line of St. Mark, but it's much more heavy. But the neat thing is, you can't see too many of these, and apparently the Nuremberg mint was able to produce these jetons much cheaper than some of the other locations were doing it, and here it looks like it's counter-stamped either with an I or just, took a hard hit along the way. H counterstamp, misspelling of Schultz. Interesting. So let's see if we can see Hans's, because I think the last one was Hans as well. Saint Mark. No, we don't see it on this one. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Schultz. So similar design there, and more neat, much older pieces of history. This one was just loose in the box, but also going to be of that similar design. And again, I didn't know what we would really be getting into here with this unboxing, but this one, ooh, that looks different, and a welcome change, if I might add. And Pietate Institutia. We'll see if there's a Volcanus. Wow. So I'm not totally sure what's going on there, but there's lots of different things happening. Nuremberg jeton, also by Hans Krauwinkel, but just a different design. I assume Stalzer 322 is going to be some type of catalog description, but fun to see. This one's more reminiscent. I know Nuremberg would produce for Germany and for France. It was like something that you could ask a mint or pay a mint to go make some jeton for you. This one is from the late 1500s, and it feels much thicker as well, so I'm excited to see. Ooh, wow. Dang. This feels like a monster Jeton. I assume that's a line of St. Mark again. Unusual flan shape, yeah. Is the line of St. Mark, and I'll have to update you as to exactly what that is, but this thing is a beast of a coin. Let me just compare here. You know, normally they're like that thick, so this is like 3 or 4 times thicker. Very nice pickup, and sort of fun in a group lot like this to get some things out of the ordinary. Here's also something that looks a little bit different. It says out Caesar, out nihil. So I don't know if that refers to, you know, without king, without, I don't know, nihilism. It doesn't make that much sense to me, but we'll see if we know what year. Circa 1590 by Killen Koch. 3 crowns separated by palm and laurel branch. Caesar armed with spear. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Wow, interesting. So many different fun things in here. This one says it's 1579. I think that's our first dated jeton to date. So also a different reverse. And over here, yeah, that's going to very clearly say 1579 with a nice scene of a you know, a soldier maybe trampling something underneath like a dragon. So that could have some religious symbolism, but I really like anything that has the actual date that it was produced on it, because it adds some history, in my opinion, to the numismatic item. So like this one, wow, that's pretty elaborate. And here, doesn't mean a ton to me, but over here it says it's Christ. Wow, Christ and the Angels. A scarcer coin from Georg Zachs, 1545 to 1586. Wow. So, and then we see there by Nuremberg, and just a gorgeous scene. Really like that. That reminds me of a lot of German villages. So, can just imagine this being used to be a counting chip in a bunch of very old transactions. But after that, we're going to have this one. Let's see. This one looks like it could have a date as well, but it's not going to. HK Gallia Fortit. So, classical series. And again, I really like the detail that still remains on these. The little animals in the background. It feels like there's a lot more room for creativity, artistry, that sort of thing on these types of coins, which, from my view, is always a welcome thing. After that, we've got another one, though it's a question mark if it is by Hans Krawinkel. It's definitely from Nuremberg, according to them. Gratia Piena Ave Maria. HKHK. Interesting, like, little radioactive symbol, well before radioactivity was understood, I'm sure. And interesting. Another neat find, and maybe I'll do a little more research on that later. Over here we see another cool coin, similar design as some of what we've seen with the line of St. Mark, but that one looks, you know, it's been preserved pretty well in this example. And the line facing right doesn't mean much to me, but yeah, earlier type. I think one way to understand the earlier types is that often the ones that have much less clear lettering, I believe, are some of the earlier ones, because the medieval jetons, again, go way back, sort of in that 1300s period. Most of the stuff we're unboxing here is older. This one feels pretty solid, much thicker, though it's probably going to be another line of St. Mark. So, whoa, it is, but it's almost got some demonic horns on it, or eyes, and that's an interesting one. Also going to be relatively old, 1570 to 1590, by Egibius Krawinkel. So maybe that's the son of Hans Krawinkel or something like that. And then we've got, here's a Hans Krawinkel. Interesting. And we see a soldier there with his probably Germanic-looking armor and ready with the sword, ready to go fight, and a nice shield. I wonder what was going through their mind. That's sort of the thing that I think of when, you know, these people were deciding what to put on these jetons. You know, it's not, again, a official, like, government mintage, that sort of thing. It's just different jeton artists, like Hans Schultz. Ship type, signed on both sides. So let's see what that means. We've got the fleur-de-lis. There's probably the Schultz, and then probably Schultz on this side as well. I really like that. Yeah, Hans Schultz. So he was getting, it's like the VDB controversy where Victor David Brenner on the 1909 penny put his initials, and then people were complaining and thought that it was too ostentatious, and then they took it off, and then, now it's still back on the penny on Lincoln's shoulder. But anyways, really cool. Older ship, fun. Reminds me of the 1944 British halfpenny, that sort of thing, but a much older version. More Hans Krawinkel here, and that one's a little bit more elaborate as well. It's like two soldiers with their swords at their sides, and let's see, late 1500s. And I'd like to, there we go. Over here, it looks like one has a bow and arrow, one has a harp, and David Ionat Han. Let's see what it says. Domino Inter. One little thing I should actually zoom in. It looks like almost there's some repunched letters here, and maybe I'm off on that, but it's probably like they were using letter punches to punch out the letters. Often they would take, but maybe it didn't occur there. It's there's repunchment marks. That's just a hypothesis. I could be totally wrong on that. Mit der mein Bruder, like maybe with or Fried mit der mein Bruder. I'm sure that I could translate that into something English and understandable, because the German language seems to have held up a little bit more consistently or something. And then over here we have a Saxony 1568 Hans Graumeyer Jeton, and I believe that that's our last one of this batch. So we can see there's the date, 1568, good 450 plus years ago. And then probably the imperial arms, which don't look too different from the German imperial eagle that would be featured on a lot of the early German Empire coinage. But again, really fun to just go through this and unbox these coins with all of you. I believe we had in total, looks like 20 different jetons. Almost all of them came with the identification. A few did not, but it was really cool. Let me know what you think. Would you want to collect these? Is this stuff you would want to have in your collection, or is it too sort of different for all of you to want to collect? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on some similar videos. I have a few more jetons to unbox, and it'll be fun to do so. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Treasure Town, and get in touch with me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, check out my website, treasuretowncoins.com, for news and updates related to the channel and collectibles in general. Lastly, there's a link tree in the description with links to all of my other sites, as well as some affiliate links that can support the channel. But with that being said, have a great day, and I'll hope to see you on some of my videos in the future.